Hey everyone, this is Cody and welcome back. This is part 2 of 2 of my how to use the Celestron StarSense AutoAlign and NexStar Evolution mount using Wi-Fi in your cell phone. So this is the exciting part of the video, I think, and that is showing you how to actually use all this. So a couple things to start with. Number one, make sure that the dust cover is off not only to your telescope, but to your StarSense as well. I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally left the dust cap on the StarSense AutoAlign, and for some reason my telescope won't align itself when that happens, so make sure that you take off both dust caps to start. Perfect, there we go. When using an altitude azimuth mount or alt-az mount, we need to make sure that the telescope is level with the ground before we start the auto alignment process. So let's go ahead and loosen the clutch here and make sure that the telescope is level to the ground. There we go. Alright, I've got my iPad here. I'm just gonna flick on the NexStar Evolution mount and go ahead and connect to it on my Wi-Fi settings. Okay, so it's Celestron 185 for me, so I'm just going to tap on that and that will connect. And then I'm going to open the Celestron SkyPortal app. Alright, here it is. I'm just going to tap now and zoom out here. You can see the screen, and I'm going to go ahead and tap on Scope, Connect and Align. Hit Allow here. And now it is connecting to the NexStar Evolution. There we go. Set the optical tube level to the base. Tap OK to start the StarSense AutoAlign. So I'm just going to hit OK. And now it's going to do its thing.
Taking a quick pause on the video, you may notice my telescope dust cap is back on when in the introduction I had removed it. We had a period of high wind between dusk and night, so I decided to put it back on to protect the Schmidt corrector plate from dust and scratches while the wind died down. I just thought I'd mention that to alleviate any confusion, so with that said, I'll resume the tutorial now.
You good if I took that up? So this will take about 2 to 3 minutes, and I'll let it move around the sky here as it plate solves and figures out where it's pointing. We got 1 out of 3 stars aligned already. And it's running into my house a little bit, so it's automatically moving itself and taking a new picture, as you can see on the screen here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and tap done because the alignment succeeded. Okay, next it's telling me that I need to do a calibration because the user settings were reset. So we're going to basically calibrate the StarSense, and what that's doing is it's going to make sure that the StarSense knows where your telescope is actually pointed at. So I'm going to go ahead and just read through this here. So select a bright star from the map that's visible at your location, tap Go To, then center the star in the finder in the eyepiece. When the star is centered in the eyepiece, tap Align and select the Calibrate option. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK, and I'm actually going to go to Arcturus actually, and I'm going to tap Go To. And that's going to put me on the other side here. And the StarSense should put this pretty close. Okay. Now I'm going to look in the eyepiece and just kind of get this lined up and focused. slow it down a little bit. Okay, there we go, and I'll get it in focus. Alright, Arcturus is in focus now, so now I'm going to go ahead and tap on Align. And I'm going to hit Calibrate. It's thinking about it here. And I will say this as well, calibrating with a wide field of view, it works, but if you use like a camera and get the calibration star right in the center, this works really well. So it says calibration complete, a new StarSense alignment is required. Tap OK to start a new alignment. So I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to realign itself. Restarting StarSense alignment. OK. And now we just do what we did just a minute ago. One thing that's super cool about this, no cords, no cables, nothing, just running off the internal battery. Pretty sweet. Okay, so the realignment of the StarSense is complete, so I'm going to go ahead and tap Done. And I am ready to observe. You only have to calibrate on that first time, so if you don't take the StarSense off or change it to different telescopes, you don't need to recalibrate it. You just turn on your SkyPortal app, hit Connect and Align, let the StarSense do its thing. It will automatically pull the time, date, and everything from your device, align itself in like 3 minutes, and you're ready to go. So just how fast can StarSense align your telescope? Well, see for yourself. Pretty fast, right? If you want to add more stars to your alignment than just the 3, you certainly can do that. On the SkyPortal app, you just tap on Align, and you can see I am on Procyon here, and I'm centered on it. You want to make sure that it's centered, and you just tap Align, and then tap Align, and it will add Procyon to its alignment database to make the go-tos more accurate. So I'm centered on Procyon here, I tap Align, it thinks about it for a second, and now I have 5 out of 10 stars. So I added Arcturus earlier, and so if you really wanted to, you could actually go get 5 other stars centered, align them all, and then your go-tos would be extremely accurate. But honestly, just having 5, I am putting these stars pretty close to the center of this tiny little imaging chip, so I am pretty satisfied with that. Now to test how good my alignment is now, I'm just going to tap on Pollux and hit Go To, and we will see what happens. And there it is at the bottom of the screen. It's slowly moving up. We'll see where it ends up finishing. Wow, yeah, almost smack dab in the center there. So yeah, 5 stars seems to do the trick just fine. Now that I've aligned and calibrated the StarSense, I just kind of wanted to walk through this app real quick. Starting with the search tab, you can go ahead and manually type in the object you want to see, or you can use one of these submenus. The Tonight's Best menu is really cool. It will show you various galaxies, clusters, nebulae, stars, that sort of thing that are available from your location and when they rise and when they set. Suns and planets, moons, there's some other submenus in here, but some of the cooler ones are like brightest stars, nearest stars, named stars. So those will help you learn the night sky. And there's also some catalogs in here like the Messier objects and the Caldwell objects. So I'm not going to go through all of these menus on the search tab, but just know the search tab can be very helpful in learning the night sky, as well as going to these objects and seeing them for yourself. The info button is really nice. You can tap on that and it will basically give you information about the object, as well as coordinates, tell you about the distance, temperature, kind of some of those stellar properties of the star or whatever object you're looking at. The center button, obviously that's going to center whatever you're tapped on. So if I tap on Bellatrix over here on the top right and hit center, it's going to move over there, at least in the app. Go to, obviously that's going to actually move the telescope. Center just centers it in the app. Go to is what you have to tap to actually move it. In the settings, you'll find all sorts of settings with cord wrap or using StarSense or all kinds of settings that you can adjust there. So I'm not going to go over that because that is a lot of menus and sub-menus in there. The compass is really neat though. This is essentially you tap this and then you'll move your phone or your tablet around and it will move the sky along with you to help reveal what objects are in the sky. The scope control, if I tap that, that will go away. If I re-tap it again, it will all appear. So you have your directional keys as well as your rate button. The focus is really cool. So if you have the optional Celestron focus motor, that button right there, you can control your focuser, which is really cool. So be sure to check out my videos on the Celestron focus motor and how to install it. And you can control that straight from the app. The time, you can fast forward or reverse time if you want. Night, you can tap it to go to night vision mode. That'll make your screen red, and then there's a help button. Now one other cool thing is, I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, you can see this. At the top right, it will give you the field of view, the angular field of view there. So you have 27.7 degrees by 20.3 degrees. So if I zoom out, obviously the field of view gets larger. And as I zoom in, the field of view gets smaller. So it can show you some really cool things in this app for learning the night sky, learning about fields of view and coordinates, and really these constellations. As I explore around here, I can tap on any of these stars and go right to it, or any of these objects, and as long as my telescope is not obstructed by my house, it's going to go right there. So the StarSense AutoAlign, I actually find easier to use with a tablet than I do with the hand controller. It is amazing technology. Celestron really knocked it out of the park, and yeah, it will give you nights of fun in about 3 minutes after you just turn it on and hit align. Alright everyone, well that wraps up part 2 of my series on how to set up the Celestron StarSense AutoAlign with the NexStar Evolution mount and get it going. So part 1 covered the equipment and how to set it up. This part 2 is actually using it, and you can see just how simple it is. In just a matter of minutes you can be aligned and viewing the sky. So I hope this little video series helps get you up and running so that you can have a first successful night with your NexStar Evolution and many fun, memorable nights thereafter.